Right after I graduated high school, I went to LA City College and majored in radio broadcasting. I was probably 18 going on 19 when I met this lady, a fellow student. She was in her maybe early 40s, and she was so eccentric that a lot of people stayed away from her, but I would always go sit down and talk to her because she was always talking about astrology and about Mercury going retrograde. The other students kind of chuckled at her, but I was very interested in knowing more. What does it mean, Basil? And I know, all I remember, she told us that you're gonna have trouble with electronics, communication, and mechanical stuff. So like your car and stuff, when Mercury goes retrograde. I'm like, Lord, it seems like that's everything, right? So I say that to say that the retrograde that Mercury is in right now will end tomorrow, Thursday. Thank you, God. Because everything has broken. Well, not the car. Thank you, God, not the car. But remember, my husband had to fix the AC, and then my aunt's AC went out, and we were going to go help her, and then it came back on. Anywho, I have a question I want to ask today because an astrologer, well, somebody with astrology in the name, is in my my viewership. I don't know if she's subscribed to the channel, but she's definitely a viewer. And she wrote something yesterday in the comments, and it said something to the effect that Miss Nancy had money. I'd never heard that before. I heard that she lost her husband young. He went to Mexico to do the mining thing that he did, and I think he suffered a heart attack or something, and he passed. And the kids were young. I think Savannah was like 15, and so Annie and Cameron had to be a tad older, of course. I think Annie was probably 18, and she raised them on her own. Never remarried. I don't know if she had suitors in between, but never remarried. And this lady said that their colleges were paid off. And I'm like, well, maybe they got like scholarships and grants like my son did. When my son went to school for his, well, for all of it, the associates, the bachelor's and the master's. The master's, he has a small loan left for the master's, but he searched for every grant and scholarship. I remember when he graduated high school, he got a scholarship from some Jewish organization because my cousin worked for a Jewish lady and she put his name up for it. And they gave it. It was such an amazing thing to be accepted. And then for his master's, he got one for being left-handed. I think my daughter looked up for one for him being tall because he's over 6 foot. We looked up for grants and scholarship for everything, right? So I'm like, maybe that's what they did. I don't know, but this lady said Miss Nancy had money, so I want to ask, did Miss Nancy have money besides the house? Everybody goes on and on about the house. Oh my God, if she's living in a $600,000 house, why did they not pay the Ring doorbell thing? Well, the Nest. And I don't know. Maybe whoever was supposed to pay it forgot. Maybe it was for nefarious reason, like we know what we're planning to do, so we're not going to pay it, especially if the family's involved. And maybe it's as simple as they didn't want to pay it because ICE was accessing. ICE was accessing people's Ring doorbell to go snatch up the neighbors, which I don't know that they wanted any of them neighbors. I don't know, were they foreign, right? So we don't know why they didn't pay the Nest thingy, all right? But we just want to know today, did she have money? This is what we don't see coming. Let me put something on top of it. I've noticed when I turn it up, I'll remember to read it. The Chariot, ambition, victory, willpower, movement. Somebody was ambitious who wanted to do this. When I was on the internet yesterday, well, in my email, I got an invitation from some website that said, hey, get a free card, pull a free, well, they said astrology card, but it was tarot. And so they said, ask a question and pull and tap on the card. So they had it spread out, right? So the question I asked is, how is my birthday party going to go? And because I'm not worried about the birthday anymore. I'm excited about it now. I got the Chariot. And when I looked at the meanings, it said that I'm supposed to harness the energy that I have now for this fire horse birthday year and just rope it in. And that day, that my birthday is going to be the defining thing that's going to turn around the rest of my year. I was so excited. Now, this Chariot is a truck that my husband made He made a lot of little trucks at once, but he was going to sell them, and then people didn't really want to pay him what it was worth and the energy and effort he put into it. So we kept them all. I think we sold maybe a couple and gave away a couple as gifts. So the lemons are real. The pumpkin in the back, see the green pumpkin in the back, that's real. And that's that patch right over there that you can see. There's a grapefruit tree there. And he planted some pumpkin seeds after we came back from Belize last year, July. And they came up in time for October. So the pumpkin was green at that point, right? And I just set that little truck there. My son bought me the little sphinxes, and I tied them onto the truck as if they were pulling the truck. And some of the fruits are fake, but the lemon and the pumpkin are real. And now we have 3 pumpkins. I'll show you my harvest that's coming up at the end of this video. So the Page of Swords, inquisitive, curious, messenger, observant. So this is our puppy Evie, and I put a little book down there for her to take notes. She was checking out the pumpkin. See, by then the pumpkin got yellow, because it took me about 4 or 5 months to take all these pictures, right? I put a knife down there because sometimes this card is about a spy in the camp, right? And she just looking at it, man, looking at it. It wasn't hard to get her to take these shots. The door's giving trouble again, guys. I need a new sliding glass door. The King of Wands, visionary, natural leader, entrepreneur. I can never remember what card we gave to Cameron. So my husband was cooking a big slab of beef that time on the barbecue grill. This corn was done. It was slimy and done. I rinsed it off because it had sat in the fridge too long. When you put stuff in the back of the fridge, nobody will find it. So I rinsed it off and put it next to his steak, and I said, this is the wand, the King of Wands. Yeah, that big piece of steak. And the smoke is real. It's kind of hard to take pictures of the smoke. And then the 9 of Cups, fulfillment, satisfaction, gratitude, luxury. Cups are about emotions, but she was fulfilled. She was happy. Miss Nancy was. This is about abundance. Maybe not necessarily a money abundance, but about life abundance. I've got my 3 kids. They're successful, one more than the rest. I've got my grandbabies. You know, they're doing great. And the 2 of Swords, this is about indecision, stalemate, avoidance. There was a decision that had to be made. That lady said that it was at least $2 million each the children would get, plus the house. And that a couple of the kids needed their money more than one. That's what that astrology lady said. Page of Pentacles. Patience, waiting, contemplating. This is right when we got the puppy. The puppy first came home. She was born October 24th. My daughter got her on her birthday, December 27th. She had lost her dog the year before, 2024, a lab that we had. She brought this puppy home. We put her on this chair right, you can't see it, a chair right over there. And I had just made a cake for another photo shoot. And I put it there, and we were teaching her to stay, wait, don't touch it. And that's showing patience and contemplating. Sometimes I'll tell you guys how I shot the cards, because I have a whole video. I might put it up in the cards today, showing you when I got the deck of cards and going through them one at a time to show you how the cards came about. So this is already shuffled, but let's give it one more quick shuffle. This is Lenormand, and I have made my own Lenormand deck. It's 36 cards, and I think I took more than half the pictures. The rest of them I got from Pexels because I can use them from there. Like, I can't take a picture of a bear or a snake. Where am I going to get that picture? I don't even want to, right? So I've used their photos, but the rest of them, as I can take them, I take them. I have 2 more to take. I took them already, but I didn't like them. I want to take the mountain, and I want to take the man, and I have to go to the nature center to do that. So we're going to look for the woman, Miss Nancy. We're going to ask Lenormand to confirm. Did Miss Nancy? It's early in the morning, that's why I'm always clearing my throat, okay? I'm not sick or anything like that. It's just super early. I got up at 6:16. It's 7:09 when I'm doing the read, and you can see it's already bright out here, but I can still go without my sunglasses. The first card is about delays, right? Blockage and delays. The next card was about contracts. would the contract be like the trust or a will? I know they say you have to have a trust versus a will, because a will goes into probate for 2 years and you have to put up like 10 grand for that to go into probate. But when it comes to a trust, everything goes to the person right away. We have to do that. We have to do a trust. The only reason we've taken this long is because we got paid to do that stuff. The Lily is about an old person, and we can pair that with Miss Nancy. She was older. Somebody got offended when I said old person before. I'm like, she was old. My dad's old. I'm old. I'm 59. I'm about to be 60. That's not young anymore. You know, my husband's about to be 69 in October. That's not young anymore. But we still are, you know, excited about life, and we're energetic, and we do our exercises, and we try to eat better, you know. The birds, it's about communication, and we've looked that up before. It's kind of hard trying to learn 78 tarot cards and then 36 Lenormand cards, but you know, your girl's an overachiever. Gossip, communication, social media, meetings, siblings. This doesn't say money. This doesn't scream money at this point. But I'm not saying that this lady is not right. This is something we're going to table and read again in the future. But this is overflowing with abundance in the love department. You know? Oh, I was talking about the house. Your house is only worth something when you sell it. My house is worth 600 and something thousand dollars. But if I sell it, where the hell am I going to live? I'm not going to be able to buy another house. Not in California. Not in this area. Right? And so it's not worth anything to me. We have a guitar that's worth a lot of money, but it's only worth what they're going to pay me for it. If nobody wants to pay me what it's supposedly worth, it's not worth anything. So Miss Nancy's house is not worth anything until they sell it. And maybe that was the goal? You want us to ask about the house again for the second question? Let's ask about the house. What do they plan to do with the house, dear Lord? And by the way, when you see me read on politics, it's because I'm reading on trending things. I'm passionate about politics, but I don't want my channel to be about politics because I get annoyed with both sides. You know, I'm Democrat, but I get annoyed with them too. They piss me off too. And so I want to like not get sucked into that and then get burned out. But I will read on politics now and again, because when the Miss Nancy case is over, and it will be over, we will find out what happened to Miss Nancy, right? When it's over, I'm going to be stuck with a channel that has no content. And that's why you'll see other people like JLR, and then we'll look at other cases, because JLR has always looked at other cases. And he's always chased hurricanes and tornadoes. I didn't know about this dude until he popped up on my... Well, actually, another dude was streaming him. Another dude named Mel was streaming him. And of course, I wanted to give him the view because I was giving Mel the view. And wanted to give him the view, and then I got stuck with JLR because I think Mel streams other things that I'm not interested in. And then I found all the other guys through JLR, and honestly, I don't know none of these people. I've communicated with Patriot Pride a couple of times, but that's mainly about my uncle who was a soldier, not about the streaming and what they do. And I've communicated with Juice, I think, once, because somebody was sending him my videos and I didn't want him to be afraid. Some people are very afraid of these cards, and I'm very respectful and mindful of that, and I wanted him to know that I don't do anything evil. I'm learning. I could be wrong, but I think I'm very tuned into the Juice, to where when he got the citation and I first read on him, I knew something bad was coming, and then that was the arrest, and then I just kept reading on him as we went along. You know, so I know he watches now and again, but I don't really know any of these people, okay? I just like watching them. So, what was the question that we were going to ask? The house. So we're going to look for the house in Lenormand. Some people say Lenormand. Some people say Lenormand. I don't know, there's a third one that they say. I don't know the correct pronunciation, so I say it all different type of way. Let's look for the house. And why is it upside down, my dear pet? Oh no, only that one's upside down. Well, we don't read reverse. It's too much to learn to read regular, then you have to read reverse. And there's enough sad and bad cards, you know, warning cards in the deck, that I don't really need to read the reverse. That's what one of my favorite creators said. I don't know why some of them became reversed. Must have gotten sidetracked. Did I say the house? Did we pass the house already? No, that's the ship. Lord, why? Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. You know, I don't say A. I don't say A. When I went to school for broadcasting, I got the best teacher. He was a thespian. You know, great actor on TV. Ed Williams was his name. Probably dead by now. And I took speech 3 with him, and he was strict. And he says the only time you say A is when you're reciting the alphabet, A, B, C, D, F, like that. So other than that, you say ah. And that just really blessed my heart, because I'm from Belize and we never said A. We said ah. I saw a dog and a cat and an apple, you know. So when she said I must make amens, it's must make amends. Amends. So the first card is the mice. I like how they have one mouse and call it the mice. I think I'm gonna have one mouse in my thing too. And of course, I didn't take the picture of that mouse. I got that from Pixels. This is about anxiety and worry. This is like the 9 of Swords in tarot. You know what my brain's doing now? When I'm out in the street and people say things, I immediately see it as the cards. It's in my brain. So somebody was worried, or somebody is worried about the house. The dog is about loyalty. Maybe she felt loyalty to the house. And here's the big beautiful house. And there's a lot of better looking house on the street than Miss Nancy's house, but it's a nice looking house. You know, the clouds. Was she like, I know they said she was sharp as a tack, but was she starting to get forgetful? Because we've seen this confusion stuff come up a couple of times. And then the letter is about a message, right? Let's look up the letter. 27. 27. The letter is about email, documents, award, written information. Well, was she, somebody had said before that she tried to sell the house the year before and then took it back off the market. And then they said that she took out loans against the house. I don't have proof of any of that. Oh, somebody accused me in the comments of being too biased against Savannah. I don't think I am, right? I felt sorry for Savannah when her mom went missing, and I suspected Annie and Tommaso. And then I came off of suspecting them. And then I suspected the whole family at one spell. And then I'm trying to walk it back because I don't want it to be them. But I side-eye Savannah because I feel like the interview that she did with Hoda was like rehearsed and for dramatic effect. I don't know what they wanted to do with the house, but there's worry and anxiety. Okay? That's the answer about the house. And there was just parts of that interview that got to me when she said, I called the hospital. So you didn't trust Annie when she said she called the hospitals? And like I said, I don't think none of them called the hospitals. They could check their phones. None of them called the hospitals. What hospital are they gonna call? Like I said, the hospital we go to is right around the bend, and none of my family members would know how to call that hospital. I'm the one that makes all the appointments, right? And my daughter makes her appointment online, so I have the appointment number in my phone. But when you call that appointment number, what are you gonna get? The appointment lady in her home. That's what Kaiser does. They're at home. Their kids yelling in the background, them making you an appointment. They're not gonna be able to tell you if somebody was taken out of your house on ambulance, right? So I'm gonna cut away to something that I taped yesterday. I had to sit on that side of the table because it was 5 o'clock in the evening and the sun was already so bad, because that's the east and that's the west. So the sun's behind me right now. In the evening it's in front of me, so I had to switch the chair around and sit that way, because you would have seen just the tree putting a shadow on my face. So I'm glad I learned. I think it was my daughter that says, turn the chair the next way when you want to do it in the evening, Mom. That's how we sit when her friend visit with his dog, right? So it is about Alex, because somebody came at me and cussed me out about Alex. Like, have you seen what he's done? blah blah blah. So I'm gonna cut away really briefly to the reading that I did on Alex. Because the sun sets in the west, guys, it's over there right now, so I can't sit at my usual spot because all you're gonna see is a bunch of, oh, why are these flipped? Is a bunch of shadows from the tree, and I'm gonna look over exposed. So at least this way I can take off my sunglasses, right? So I'm gonna pull the Norman really quickly. You're gonna see this read at the end of one of my other videos as the Gush or the Encore, because I don't usually read in the evening time like this because of the sun and the AC is going, so it's gonna be loud in the room. But I had to run out here and read again while it was still in my brain, because when I went inside and I went to go watch the restream, I'm one of the replay viewers in JLR's thing because I was out here recording while he was live. I saw somebody leave a comment that the judge that's on Alex's case, Alex from Criminal Network, that she was in television and radio for over 20 years and that she worked for KOLD, one of the TV stations in Tucson that received one of the ransom notes. I'm like, what are the odds of this being Alex's judge? This is so weird. So I want to read on that woman again. In my last video, I said that the woman could have been the sheriff's wife, right? But now I'm going to look and see if the woman is the judge. Let us see, because we got the tower in Lenormand. The tower means the establishment, the court, religion, church, the judge, the lawyer. That's what all that means, right? So I'm looking really quickly for the woman. Here comes the woman. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Okay. Let me get some stones. These are just stones from my backyard. I don't want anything to blow away. So the first card that I got in Lenormand again is the tower. I was saying that this was the sheriff and the sheriff's wife, right? But this could be the judge and the court. Lord have mercy. And then clouds, which is about confusion. Who's confused? They're trying to confuse us, trying to confuse Alex, and then the woman, who I thought was the sheriff's wife, could be the judge, Judge Steele. And then letter is about a message, right? They're trying to send a message to him. And then the ship, this is about travel, journey. Man, what does this mean? What does the ship mean? I've already shuffled the tarot deck. And stay for the very, very end. This is the Gush of one of my next videos. I don't know what's going to come in front of this, right? But this is the Gush. But stay for the very end because I want to address one of the viewers that said something to me. Okay? Ace of Swords. It's not a bad card. New idea, success. Judgment. Does that mean he'll get a fair trial? Giving and receiving help. Alex better reach out for help. But I'm going to revamp that woman and say that woman could be the judge. I'm not going to say that she's going to be unfair because nothing here shows me that she's going to be unfair, but I just felt like it was really weird. This case has taken so many weird turns that, I mean, this judge getting Alex's case could just be pure coincidence, but isn't it weird that Alex didn't even stand in front of her today? They sent him to the wrong courtroom, to some other judge that says, I don't have you, or maybe she just asked for him. All right, so I don't want to put the ending part that I said to that person. It wasn't rude, but I think I have my thoughts better now in my brain to talk to that person. But you see how the lady maybe is not the sheriff's wife, it could be the judge. How weird is that? For this judge to be somebody who worked at KOLD for such a long time, and they got the ransom notes, and now she's the judge presiding over Alex. I'd be very scared if I were Alex. But anyways, this is what I want to say to that person. So I've been in YouTube for 15 years, right? So two quick stories. There was a content creator that came up in my feed, young person, my oldest son's age, part Jamaican. His dad was Jamaican, his mom was Black American. Well, the mom's alive, the dad's dead. And I liked him. He came on fast and furious. He was kind of like Alex. Anything came out of his mouth, anything goes. Just really off the chain. But I liked him. There was something about him that I loved. And so one day he got invited on a panel of older ladies, my age and above, and they were church ladies. And they said they were going to talk with him and just like try to get to understand him better because everybody was like attacking him, right? And it's not like he was innocent to not get attacked, but they didn't need, these church ladies did him wrong. They put him up there and they started to tear him to shreds under the guise of scolding him to, make him go straight or whatever. And I just felt in my spirit, because he wasn't attacking them, he was trying to be respectful. And I felt something in my spirit, so I found his phone number. I think he had his phone number. I have my phone number listed under my videos at my cooking page. I don't know that I have it listed here, but it's my Google number, but nobody really abuses it, right? So I called him. No. I'm sorry, I didn't call him. I found his email, but he had his phone number there, but I didn't want to call. So I emailed him and I said, get off of that panel, please. Get off of that panel and call me. This was like 2 o'clock in the morning, my time. He was on East Coast time. He was in Ohio. And so he got off and he called me. I was shocked. And he says, hey, what's up? And I said, I'm a content creator too. I'm in that chat. I'm not talking. You don't have to listen to what these ladies are telling you just because they're older than you. I know you're trying to be respectful, but I just got something in my spirit that you weren't okay. And he wasn't. He was contemplating self-harm. And so I'm glad I reached out and I talked to him for like an hour. And I'm like, I see a lot of good in you. Why do you crash out like this? And then he says, I'm so passionate about what I do and I don't know why I'm not more successful, and I'm trying so hard. And so somebody trained me to do YouTube and they were like, crash out every now and again. Well, not that crash out, but the way he had jumped onto YouTube, because he was in another platform. I forget. I don't remember the name of the platform he was in, but he was successful over there. Anyways, we became friends. He came as a guest to my home several times to be on camera and off camera, just to sit and eat with us and just enjoy the family. And he was just the nicest, sweetest, most respectful human being in my home. He loved and adored my husband because my husband's older, like a father figure to him. I'm a mother figure to him, right? And just really, really a nice person. And then I told him about somebody else who came to my house, younger person, younger than him. I think this person maybe is 27 now. So he came to my home when he was like 22. Again, half Caribbean. Well, he's not half. He's whole Haitian, but he was born here. Both his parents are Haitian. I'm still tight with him. He had over 600,000 subscribers when he came to my house. And he's a lovely person, just respectful and lovely. And so I told person A about person B. I'm friends with him. And the next day, person A went to a YouTube event and saw this guy. It was not a YouTube event. They went to a case. They were covering court cases. I guess I've been in this true crime niche for a while now, like looking at it, right? And so he saw the guy and he's like, oh my God, I'm friends with your friend. And so it was the other kid's birthday that day. His birthday's August 8th, so it's coming up. He called me and he goes, I met your friend and I didn't like him. I'm like, you better stop, because I'm not choosing sides. And then he laughed and he goes, no, I love him. I'm in his car. He's in my car right now. He's taking me out for a birthday drink. And oh my God, you meet such good people. I've met such good people through you, because he even met Kim Whitley, who is Sherry Shepherd's friend, because I'm friends with Sherry Shepherd. And so I've been to Kim Whitley's house. I wouldn't say I'm friends with her, but I know her. I'm acquainted with her. And so he would say, I know a friend of yours. And he goes, oh yeah, that's Sherry's friend. I know them, good people. So he was meeting a lot of people that I knew. Person A that I'm talking about. And then there came a day when he crashed out and he started to talk about my other friend, person B. And he was just like, he wasn't really bashing him, but he was crashing out. And he's all like, you can help us and you don't want to help us. Barbara, so-and-so is not your friend, because look, he has all these subscribers and he could do more to help you. He could do more to help me, and he's not doing, he wasn't obligated to, right? And I was like, stop, just stop. And he goes, remember when he told you to buy that one thing to eat because you were going to go viral, and you bought that thing for so much money, it was like $300 and something, and then you didn't go viral. And I went in his chat and I said, he didn't tell me to buy it, he bought it for me. I was like, oh my God, nobody's obligated to me for anything, I was like, just stop. And so he stopped talking to me. I still love him, but he stopped talking to me. And then he went on the Facebook platform. And I used to control his Facebook. He threw me off of having control on the Facebook. And then he crashed out. And he moved out of the country. right when the epilepsy files came out, he moved out of the country and he started to scream about Leonardo. He had told me some stuff about Leonardo DiCaprio that I don't know if it's believable, so I'm not going to repeat it. But then he started to repeat things about him, stuff he didn't tell me, and I was like, oh God, they're going to kill you, boy. And he disappeared. I don't know where he's at. I don't know where he's at. But I'm saying that to tell this person, you're not going to convince me of who to like. You know, I'm grown. I watch who I like to watch. I've heard all the stories about Alex and JLR and even Ted. I mean, they crucified that poor man, Ted. They put his real name out there, put the man biz. Don't do that. Don't dox people. So I'm going to watch who I want to watch. Then another quick story. I used to be in this other niche where creators were talking about this other creator. I didn't like the other creator they were talking about. Didn't like what she was doing to her children, stuff like that. So I would be in the chat and I was the facts keeper in this other creator's chat, because they would say things about the kids like, oh, that kid is like 5 years old. I'm like, no, he's 3. His birthday is July, blah, blah, blah. So I kept the facts. I knew the facts about, you know, I love the kids. And so then there was a fight that broke out between the creator that I was watching and other creators she collabed with, and I loved all of them. Kind of like how JLR is collabing with all of these people that he never really collabed before, but he's collabing with all these people now, right? And if they break out in fights, let's say JLR has a falling out with Ted or has a falling out with Alex, I'm not going to pick sides. I'm going to keep watching who I like. They're not going to dictate to me. I'm grown. I want to show you my outfit, and I want to show you my oh, let me stop. Let me show you my outfit, and then I'm going to show you my harvest. So, okay, first of all, right here, and I showed the outfit yesterday in that clip that I did with Alex. I had a green blouse to go with this skirt when I made it before, so I had the green to match the bag and the top. And it's just a little shopping bag, right? It's not my purse, just a shopping bag. But I got rid of the green shirt. Well, I took it apart and used it as a template. But the reason I got rid of the green is because whenever I'm on camera, my son told me that people can use the green as a green screen to put whatever they want to put on me. And my greatest fear was for somebody to put a bag of D's on my shirt. You know what I mean. I was like, oh God, oh no, I started to freak out. See? I did these patchwork, and patchwork is hard for me. But I did it because I bought this pair of shoes from Vans. They were like 19 bucks on sale. And so I found the fabric and did the blouse, and then I recently did a hat, but the hat kind of looks like a jester or something. I didn't do a good job with the hat. So let's start over here, guys. The tree back here is a grapefruit tree, and it has quite a bit this year. The first year it gave me 1, the next year it gave me 2, and now it's giving me like 40. And then look, a huge pumpkin already turned yellow. I know that there was a pumpkin in here. I know I saw it on one of the pumpkin stalks and not on the grapefruit thing, but it just disappeared. And it was already the size of a large grapefruit, so I don't know where that pumpkin is. I'm gonna have to go back and look at my footage to see if I was wrong. And then there's one there. I don't think that one's gonna get any bigger because it's already yellow. And I love grapefruit, by the way. Where's the other one? There's one is flowering here, so when it flowers, I think we're gonna get one there. Oh, see right here? There's one here. You guys see it? So we have 3 for sure, and I'm gonna go see if that 4th one really existed. Over there it's oranges, over there it's lemons, and there's a lot on both. I'm really grateful for the lemon tree because we had one before and we had to dig it out after 2 years because Home Depot and grafted it with something else, and we had Mayor lemon, which is like a sweet lemon, which is gross, and it's illegal in California, so I don't know how they did that. Where's my avocado? Only 1 avocado after 5 years. Sorry, but I can't get in there with the camera. Can you come pull for me? You see him? It's a him, right, Joe? 1 avocado after 5 years, guys. And then sweet potatoes. He built this box and he planted sweet potatoes, and look, I know we're gonna get a lot.
I think about October is supposed to be ready.
Sweet potato, okay. And how are you gonna know? How are you gonna know it's ready?
You could, when that time, you could dig down there and check for yourself.
Okay, we got 2 onions that we already ate. He's got his aloe vera. And these right here is callaloo. We're from the Caribbean, from Belize, so callaloo is, I would say, related to spinach, but not. A green. And then he's got his fever grass. This is what it's called in Belize, but it's lemongrass over here in America. We got this from a small plant from somebody. And now he's made 2 separate pots. You see what I tell you about this yard? It's kind of lumpy that I would be afraid to walk back here at night. But those people who took Miss Nancy, they weren't afraid of that yard. Make that make sense. This is okra. I'm from Belize, so we say okra and not okra. This lemongrass belongs to who? Tracy? Where's Crystal's lemongrass?
Down there, just coming. Right there, coming.
So he's giving the lemongrass to people because it's healthy for you guys. And this is Evie. Evita, come say hi. Don't run away. Stop eating that grass, girl. She hasn't eaten grass in a long time. Okay, guys. This is my little setup from this here angle. All right. See you guys on the next one.